there that Justin touched on that because what he's talking about has a lot, very similar to what I want to speak to you guys about. If I could sum it up in one sentence, it's the fact that breakthrough takes breaking you. Now, it doesn't really sound exciting. It doesn't really sound fun. And I wish I could tell you that breakthrough means candy and ice cream along the way, but sometimes that's just not the way it works. You know, the word actually says in James 1:2 that you're blessed when you face trials of many kinds. Of many kinds. So, Monica, if you are sick right now, you are broke right now, you are frustrated with your little brother and sister that you live with right now, and it's cold outside, and blah, 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 and there's a list of things, and your mom's annoying you, and your sister keeps talking smack about you, and whatever it is, that means you're blessed, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And it says to keep pushing through that, because when you persevere, that's how you get to become perfect. You guys want that perfection that God has for you, right? You guys want that breakthrough that He has for you, right? The Bible literally says that it's going to take you going through some stuff. It's going to take you facing some stuff. I made a list of a few people that I noticed in the Bible that had experienced this. Job. You guys ever read the book of Job? This guy had everything and lost it all. He was rich, he had a huge family, everything was going really well for him. He lost everything, he lost even his health, and it was just him, and everything was broken. But God restored it all to him even better than it was before. But before it got to that point, he faced a rough time. Jesus Christ himself, before he rose on the third day, he had to die, right? Right? Moses and the Israelites had to walk through, you hear the story about how, there was they split the Red Sea, they walked through it, all this cool stuff happens. Before that, God used plagues in their land to get Pharaoh's attention. That there was frogs and grasshoppers and nasty sicknesses and just gross stuff going on all around. They had to go through that before they were able to go to the Promised Land. They walked in the desert for 40 years before they got to go to the Promised Land. There's some heavy stuff that these people had to go through before they got the breakthrough that God had promised each and every one of them. Now, I don't know what you guys want breakthrough in. I don't know if you want breakthrough into the next level of God. I don't know if you want breakthrough out of something that you're struggling with. And I don't know if you guys want breakthrough for this generation, but I'll tell you that's what my heart's at right now. Man, this generation, the people in our age group, the people who are called to do great things, which I believe each and every one of you are in that category, I want to see breakthrough because I think that God has bigger things than just this. It's going to take breaking you, all right? I'm going to sum it up with this story. There was a man in the Bible, and his name was Jacob. He was walking to something that did not look fun. He had a family member that was out to get him. The family member, his brother had already told him, dude, we're fighting when I see you. Bad stuff was about to go down, and he already knew it. So he's on his way to do that, and it's just him, and he's walking alone, and he saw God as he's walking, which I think is really cool, by the way. Just saying. He's walking, and he encounters God, and what does he do? He does the smartest thing. He fights him. He literally fights God. And he says, look, I know who you are. I know you're a man of God. I know you're God, and I know you were sent here. I know you're the Spirit of God. And I'm not going to let you leave me until you bless me. I refuse to leave this place until I get the blessing I know that I'm called to get. So they literally fight all night. It says, as much time as you're supposed to be sleeping, that's how long they stood there, and they fought. And as they're wrestling, finally, the angel, or God, says, you're not going to give up. So one of us has to. I'm just going to stop this fight right here. He reaches over and pops his hip out of place. He broke his hip. And he said, from now on, you're going to walk with a limp, but your name is no longer Jacob. You're no longer the person that you were on your way to what you think is failure, on your way to something that looks like a fight you're probably not going to win. Instead, you're Israel. He said, instead, I'm giving you breakthrough. The fight that you're about to go to, you're going to win. There's prosperity on the other end. There is breakthrough on the other end. But it took him literally having to break his hip. Now, Jacob said, I'm not going to stop until you bless me. But what he didn't realize is he said, I'm not going to stop until you break me. If you guys want breakthrough out of condemnation, you guys want breakthrough out of whatever situation it is that you're facing, you're going to have to say, you know what, God? I am not going to leave here until you break that thing in me out. Or maybe you want into the things of God. Maybe you're hungry to see something a little bit more in your relationship with God. You need to say, you know what, God? I am not leaving until you break who I was and give me a chance to step into who I'm made to be. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're sinful. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Something doesn't have to be wrong for you to get better with God. But you're going to have to say, you know what? Who I am right now needs to get broken, God. I want you to break that off of me because I want something new. And if you're like me and you're hungry to see this generation rise up and live to the amazingness that God has planned for us and dreamt up for us, then you're going to need to get broken. That song that Aaron won and Caleb totally played out, Give Me Your Eyes. God, just give me a vision that like you see. Break my heart for what breaks yours, God. So maybe you're not going through something, or maybe you feel like you're doing really well with God, but you want to see something in your generation or something in your family. If you're like me, man, I want to see better for my family or my friends. Then you got to be like, God, break my heart. Give me that desire like you have. Give me that hunger like you have. It's going to take breaking something. Breaking through takes breaking you. I know it's kind of cheesy and it's kind of a funny line, but it's immediately what I felt in my spirit as I started to study and pray about this. It's going to take breaking you. Some way, shape, or form. I'm going to invite you guys to come up to the front. If the youth leaders would join me up here. If you need prayer for something specific, then by all means, please, we would love to pray for you for something specific if you're going through something. But if not, I just want to invite you to just spend just a few minutes of worship with us. Get broken before God. Just tell God, man, break me. I want to see breakthrough. I want to see revival.